When you educate a man in mind and not in morals, you educate a menace towards society, said the 32nd president and the longest reigning president of America, none other than Franklin Delano Roosevelt. As you wake up from your bed, your disappointing grades resonate through your mind. Lo and behold, your race has begun against your biggest competitor, time. Time for math lessons, time for soccer practice, time for public speaking competitions. But where's the time to learn how to be a good human being? In our school systems, we reward our students for winning math competitions and sport competitions, but never for morality and showing a good conduct. So there's no reason for them to win it. And, in this speech, moral education can be defined as the study of respectfulness and conduct. By being respectful, you treat everybody equally and you give the same opportunities to everyone. You are a humble leader. Moral education, and furthermore, in this speech, I will establish that how moral education can solve cyberbullying and betrayal of friendships, two painful problems many of us face today. Does that sound relatable? Well, yes. And a real life example would be the betrayal from Truman Capote. Truman Capote is an infamous and notorious author today who held several of the darkest secrets of his high society friends. In 1975, Capote released a long awaited novel, La Cote Basque 1965, in which he exposed his friends' darkest secrets, including their romantic lives, a suicide, and even a murder. After this, he lost all his friends, and this marked the downfall in his career. On the contrary, you may have heard of Mark Wahlberg. I watched him in a theater in a movie with Tom Holland. He has his own band and he has his own burger food chain. The list of achievements keep going on and on. But he wasn't always like this. Mark Wahlberg was a convict who was arrested for beating up a Vietnamese refugee due to racism. After he served his due sentence for trying to kill that Vietnamese refugee, he was put under the guidance of a priest. Under the guidance of the priest, he was a reformed being. Even in a field where many people take drugs and are involved in crime, he held his head together. And he still gives a lot of credit to the person who changed his life, the life-changing priest. That leads me on to my first argument. My first argument is how moral education can reduce the rates of cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a large problem that we face today. And if we learn and if we develop a moral compass during elementary school itself, our moral compass will begin to build and we'll understand more complex emotions such as empathy and compassion. By understanding these emotions, we can relate to them and we won't bully people and we'll be less susceptible to peer pressure. This significantly reduces the rates of cyberbullying. An example of severe cyberbullying in a tragic case was the one of Adriana Cooch. On February 1st, 2023, Cooch was abused in front of the whole school. And not only that, her assault was posted on media platforms on that day. It became viral, and Coach could not bear the humiliation of being a media joke anymore. 2 days later, she took her life in New Jersey. That was on February 3rd, 2023. And even though the school had a history of violence, they didn't implement moral education. Unlike a school in Spain, in which they gave moral education to 750 students, and the rates of bullying came down to almost zero. My second argument is how moral education can reduce the betrayal of friendships. Friendships are mutual bonds which are not supposed to be taken granted of. Friendships are connections and bonds that shed light through your darkest times, and true friends will stay by you your whole life. But if you break these bonds, your friends will be disheartened, and you're not that type of loyal friend. Your friend would have trusted you. So, if we implement moral education, students will develop this moral compass I'm talking about, and they'll be able to navigate through their friendships, and they'll be a loyal friend. There will be no betrayal anymore, or at least the rates would have significantly dropped. This is better than we had ever imagined. Historical examples of betrayal include that of Adolf Hitler and Ernst Röhm. Rose to power as the president of South Africa. But before that, he was a close ally of Adolf Hitler. But then, when he got control over millions, Adolf Hitler did not hesitate to kill him. There's a similar story with Caesar and Brutus. Julius Caesar crowned himself the dictator for life, and his best friend since childhood did not hesitate to murder him, along with all of his other friends other than Julius Caesar. Morality matters. We should not inflict pain in others' lives. Implement the moral education systems. Give prizes once a year to the person who has shown the best etiquette. And trust me, the school systems will change forever. This will be revolutionary. Thank you.